Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Muscle Model Cars. Coming with you today with the 1970 Road Runner. I think I'm going to end up doing this for my grandson, my third one. I didn't want to leave him out, so I say I'm going to go ahead and, even though he's in between what he wants to do, I'm going with what I think he is pretty much, and that's pretty much a road runner. He goes from place to place. He never sits still, and I think this will be something fitting for him. You know, where he is right now. I see him as no matter where he goes, he ends up leaving it better than the way he found it. So this one will be dedicated to my third oldest grandson, and he's pretty much a go-getter, and he likes driving on the road, being on the road. He never sits in one place too long. So this will be for him, and I'm gonna get started. Pretty much what I've done is painted the colors, selected the color that I wanted to use, which kind of reminds me of him and his colors that he kind of is partial to, And so with that, I chose a very, very, I guess it would be a green sort of color, which is some might call it hunter green, but I didn't really want the hunter green. I chose a combination of hunter green for the interior, and then sublime is what it called back in 1970. Um, there was a color that they had on those cars, and it was called sublime, like a lime, but subdued kind of lime. So you'll see it. I painted it already, and then what I did was did the exterior in sublime, and then I did the interior in a darker shade, or more of a darker kind of hunter green type of blend, and that's going to be the main two colors. And then, of course, I'm going to make the engine the way I visualize the engine for that particular year and model and engine type. So we're going to go with that. So we're going to start with that, and then I'll go from there, and we'll move right along through this pretty quick. But a little bit about the guy who I'm making this for. He I remember him as a little kid. He was in the household with my wife and myself, along with my youngest daughter, and so pretty much I kind of raised him more so like a son, more so than a grandson. Until my daughter moved out, got married, and we raised him, and my younger granddaughter. They were about, I want to say, they stayed with us for quite a few years. But when my daughter got married, she moved out, and and a gentleman who she married finished raising the two, and they're a blended family and everything, and it's working out. I'm speaking that, and blended families can sometimes be a little bit hard, but sometimes it could bring the best of two worlds and combine it into one. So, with that being said, as I can remember a little bit about him, he was always kind of, I want to say, intellectual type of guy who just had to be the best. You know, he was always challenging me to everything. If he saw me do something when he was young, and this is like 3 or 4, and he got old enough to walk around, you know, I used to keep him groomed and everything like he was my son and whatnot. And him being my grandson, you know, he kind of looked up to me, I believe, more so as the brother than mom. So I had to kind of be a mentor, so to speak, until he got older and my daughter got married, and then someone took over from that. My son-in-law took over from that. But as a young man, he was always smart. He was a smart guy. If he saw something on TV, I remember Barney. You know, he used to do that. And when Barney did the dance on TV, because my wife owned a daycare at that time, and we're talking about the early 2000s. Um, he would sit there and want to watch it over and over, along with my other wives' kids who she kept watched. You know, they do the Barney dance or pumpernickel or whatever that was, and then they would stop. But he'd want to do it till he got every step correct. So, and then if you cut it off, he'd have a fit. So that kind of reminds me of him when he first came up. Uh, I remember a time when he had a project in kindergarten, I think it was, where he had to make like a project for like a science fair type thing, and him and his mom end up staying up all night making uh, it wasn't like the volcano, the typical one. I think he made something dealing with like it was like a, I don't know, like a home with all different kinds of things. I don't know if it was, I can't remember, but I think it was like a home or a house or something. And I think it was for the fire department. And he had, the classroom had to do projects for it. It was a competition. And he ended up winning that competition. And then he was in, I want to say, first grade maybe. And he ended up winning, and the winner ended up getting, like, I think, a small cash amount, nothing really to speak of. But then they also got, let's see, I want to say a ride on the fire truck, you know, because I can remember that we went up to school early, and my daughter had taken him to the fire department for where we lived at that time, and we brought all the school kids out there for in that specific, I guess, grade air who had all entered into the to the project, and he came riding down when everybody was outside, and he was on top of the fire truck, and he was he was he was pretty proud, waving like he was the president or something. So he's always been an intellectual kind of guy, young man, and that was funny because, oh no, we couldn't tell him nothing after that. He knew everything, and he always sought to get be smarter than everybody else at certain things. Whenever he was presented with something, he'd try to do it as best he could. Him and his sister used to have competitions with my wife, because my wife being a child care provider at that point time, she would also have Bible study with them, and they would memorize verses and things like that. And he would have competition with his sister, who was also like 1 year uh, under him, 1 or 2 years under him, maybe even I want to say 2 years under him, and uh, he would make sure when my wife asks a question about the Bible, name all the books, in the Old Testament or New Testament. He would he would go from Genesis all the way through to like Matthew, basically Old Testament, and then he may even went further, but she actually one time asked him to name all 66 books, and he in the Bible, and he did it. And he was a young dude, and he he never ceased to amaze me with that stuff. And then he also ended up about that fire department competition. He ended up getting an award from the mayor of that specific town, and he got the keys to the city, you know, and then a reward, for that. And that was pretty cool for him too. And let's see what else. Doing those competitions, my granddaughter, the second from the oldest granddaughter, which is his sister, um, would try to keep up with him, and she just stare at him because while he was reciting every single you know uh, book in the Bible, you know, he would memorize it as a competition because that's how he was. He's very competitive, and to this day, he played basketball in high school and all that stuff. So he's always been competitive. So basically, I ain't gonna try to keep boring you with it, but just to give you a little background of why I'm doing this for him, because he's still in the middle of deciding on what he wants to do. But I've seen him do so many different things, and that's why I'm calling him a road runner. And so this car is dedicated to my road runner, and he's a nice young man, smart young man, and he'll make his mind up where he wants to go. But until then, he's gonna be a road runner. Okay, so sit back, and what I'm going to do is let you guys see the painting that I did on this, and then after that, I'm going to end up doing a little assembly. And if you guys choose to stick around, that's fine. And if not, mute it. You guys know what I do at this point. Pay no attention. I know it's kind of busy in the back of me. My wife has her things that she does, with being into the apparel and whatnot. She these garments and whatnot are gowns and everything that's being sold online also. So pay no attention to that, and apologize for it. But I wanted it was getting late, and I was wanting to get it done quickly. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what I've painted so far. Okay, and the smaller parts, I'm going to move along with it as I go through it with my music in the background, showing you how I'm going to color the smaller portions, engine components and things like that. Okay? All right. So sit back and relax. And thank you for joining us on youtube.com at Muscle Model Cars. Okay? And hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. And mute if once the music starts, if you don't want to be bothered with the music. And those who do, that's fine. Listen on and kind of see where I'm going with it. But I was looking for my platform I had, but I don't see it for the putting the car up here. So I'm going to have to find out what I did with it. So stick with me. I'll be right back. Okay, so found the platform I was looking for. And the color, first thing I'm going to show you is the interior. First thing I'm going to show you is the interior. And I got that at a deep color hunter green. Okay. And then, of course, you do the touch-ups to do the fine little trim on it. Then, let me try to put it away as I show it to you. I try to keep everything, again, I try to keep everything together. So that's the interior portion, side panels, hunter green, hunter green. All of this is spray painted. When I can keep it on a tree, I can. When I need to separate it, I separate it. And then I'll go from there. Dashboard. And then bench seats. Okay. And all of that is going to be for the interior. Next thing I have is the outside. This is a lacquer, sort of a metallic flake, sublime, I call it. That's what they called for. Like, it's not really a sublime like on the in the 70s they had, but it's close to it, and that's good enough for me. But as you can see, it's more of a metallic flake in there too. And as it dries more and more, it's going to be, you're going to see the flakes more. So right now I'm going to leave that out and let it dry. I don't want it to smudge. Then the back of the bench seat, that's going to have the sublime, I'm going to call it. Okay. And then we got the, I'm just putting these out the way so it doesn't smear. I want it to dry a little better. I'm going to put it all in front of the fan, mini fan on top of the table. I showed you that fan before. And here is the body itself, 1970 Road Runner. Some may mistake it for a coronet, they call it. The Plymouth had that model as well, but it's pretty similar looking. But this is the 70 Road Runner. It's not the Super B, you know, with the big high tail on the back, and then the pointy front end that Richard Petty is famous for driving, number 43 in the Daytona NASCAR. So that's how that looks. This is on the inside of here in the engine compartment here. It's kind of taped right now and spray painted, but I taped it up because that's going to be black on the inside. We want to try to keep it realistic. And then the interior also. Okay. But this is that lacquer, that lacquer look that is going to give it a real shiny look to it when it dries. Already, I only put one coat on it. You don't need to keep a bunch of coats on it. As you can see, you don't need to overkill on it, and this thing shines like new money. Okay, that's a beautiful color. I like it. And I'm gonna let that dry as well. And then bumpers, all that is chrome, so we don't worry about it. But this is the chassis. This is a soapstone gray. It's not shiny at all. It's not matte, but it's called soapstone. You don't want to overdo the spray paint on with these paints, because what happens is you lose the all the fine detail in the trims and in the areas where you might want to change something or show something a little different, like the rails on here, like that there, that long rail going from from the interior compartment all the way to the back where the gas tank is. So you don't want to overkill on your spray paint. So, and this side here, you don't even worry about it because it's not going to be seen. If anything, I would do the rails here black to match the engine compartment. Okay, that's about it, because no one's going to see this, because you're going to have the interior portion on here, on top of it right here. And then I know I may not have given the paint to I hadn't painted the inside of it. You know, it's like a cup. It holds everything in it. So I got to remember if that's in there or not. I can't remember if I did it. I don't think I did it. And if I didn't, I'm going to have to do it. No big deal. And let me look and see if I missed a piece. Pretty sure. Thought I spray painted everything, but if I didn't, no big deal. That which could be spray painted, because this here looks like it's missing something. And I'm not sure if I took it out and put it. But let me, you know what? I think if I got my instructions, it'll tell me if I'm missing something. So let's see what the instructions say. This is it here. So I'm going to look for those instructions real quick, because I don't recall ever seeing that. Yep, there's a piece in there that's missing. I'm not sure what I did with it, but I'm sure it'll turn up. I may have intermixed it in another kit that I was looking at, so I'll find it. So, and then spray paint it. But the portion I'm talking about is this guy right here. This right here. That's going to have to be painted a dark green. Wait a minute. Oh. Back seat. Yeah, the dark green portion must be laying around somewhere that I didn't. Here. Oh, it is. Here it is. I guess this is it here. They're just showing it with the sides of it on those two green sides. So I did do it, but only I was looking at it on the instructions with the sides on it. Okay. So basically, the two sides I showed you, these guys right here, one to the left, one to the right, it's going to go on there, you know, if I face it on the inside. Let's see if I can get it going for you. I don't worry about this side because it won't be seen, but basically, just so you get an idea of what I'm talking about, it's going to go down on here like that. It's going to fit in here like that. Break that off. It's going to fit like like so. Okay, and that's why I got a little misled, not confused, misled. And you can just break this guy off. But I'm just letting everything dry, but I can break it off so I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna let it dry. I'll just let it dry. And then the other part we have is the differential and the drive shaft and the muffling system. That's going to be, I spray painted the whole thing black because I'm going to make it all, separate. Like the mufflers, I'm going to end up changing the color. But for the most part, it's going to be black. The spring leaves, I'm going to change that probably. But for the most part, and the drive shaft. I just want to give it a, I want to look at it, study it, and make it more true to the real vehicle and make the coloring and do a little research. And I know a lot of people say just put it together. Now, yeah, I want to do it like a real vehicle would be, just because I have a, you know, I have I have a need to complete it just the way the car is because I want it to look as best realistic as I could. So that's what I try to do. Try to make it look as realistic as possible. So I'll take these pieces and get the fine detail in it as close as I can without doing overkill and messing something up. I try to because when I first started this, I thought I was doing it neat, but I still was like messing windows up and everything because trying to make sure it's tight and all that. You don't really need like a lot of glue, a lot of paint, and all that. You just be neat with it. And one coating, a lot of times, will do it, and it'll save you on materials and spending money. Even if you got money, you still don't need to just blow it because you just overkilling on things that don't really need it. And I had to learn that the hard way. Many, many cans of spray paint. I did. Okay, so that wasn't even necessary. And then you end up looking at it when it dry and it's smudged and all that stuff. So don't worry about it. Do it the best you can and be satisfied that you did a good job and don't be too critical of yourself. Okay, so that's the interior, and then we have again the soapstone. Okay, we're gonna put that away. And then I think I'm gonna put the chassis on the table and let that dry because I don't want it to smudge. It looks pretty nice. I don't have a problem with it. And it's metallic flaked. Yeah, look like gold flakes in there. Not a bad color. And then we're gonna go from there. Hopefully it'll look okay because this is how it's gonna look with the chassis on it. And then you put the other stuff on it, and it's going to look more realistic. And that's what I go for, real to make it look realistic. May not be the prettiest, but it'll definitely look realistic. Okay. And so with that, I'm going to pop this chassis in and let it more. I don't want to put too many fingerprints on it. I just want to get it to fit in there and kind of stay seated while it dries so I don't lose parts. And go from there. And this is what it's going to look like. Okay. And of course, you're going to end up, I'm going to have to do more detail to it, but this is going to be with the differential in and the drive shaft and the leaf springs and all of that stuff. How we're going to end up with it once I get the engine in and everything. All of this will look more realistic and not a toy. Right now, I try to go for, I don't like the toy look, so I use black wash to age the chrome and all that stuff. And I try to make it realistic. May take a little more time, but you'll be happy with it in the end. And of course, the front portion, the drive steering column, and all that stuff. The front end of the vehicle. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. Right now, I'm going to let it all dry, and then I'm going to start piecing together, going step 1 through whatever it's going to be. I'm going to show you the book, and then we'll go from there and start putting maybe the engine together or anything that's not too difficult. We're going to go with it from there. So I want to thank you guys for joining me and showing you the painting of the parts, the bigger parts. The smaller parts I'm going to probably show in the next video, being painted with hand with a paint marker. And I'm going to do that by probably by next week. You guys will see it all assembled as far as the engine and all that stuff. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep the tree, all the parts I separated to on the last video when I did the mail call on it for this Road Runner. I'm going to paint those and probably be playing my music, so no need for you to stick around if you don't need to, but if you want to, be my guest. But I'm going to say thank you guys, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time and see how far I've gotten with the 1970 Road Runner. And a dedication to my third oldest grandson. Got 2 more. So I had them over this weekend, matter of fact, my wife and I, along with our youngest granddaughter. And they got together. They say they had got bored. You know, they used to playing their video games and everything. So I gave them I gave them a Lego muscle type of car or Formula One race car Legos. Um, that looked like that was a little bit tough, but the 2 youngest ones went at it. You know, they're older. Old enough to read the instructions, but not too young where they just don't know what to do. So they got it halfway through. I kind of going to, you know what? I think I can. I don't want to do it, but I think I'm gonna show you what they're working on. Try to get them into it too. Okay, so I got two other grandsons, and the younger 2, and they were over with us this past weekend, and they wanted to come and look at some of the vehicles that I put together, also down, and downstairs. And what I decided to do is go ahead and let them put together a Lego Technic type of vehicle that was given to me as a present like a year ago. And it's like a toy to me, but it's really not a toy. This thing is not easy to put together, but I thought it'd give them something to do to get away from the handheld devices, electronics, and they started doing it. If you look at it, this thing has close to 1,000 pieces, and it's called a Bugatti. It's a Bugatti Bol- Bolide, Bolide, Bugatti Bolide. Yeah, I guess that's how they pronounce that, Bolide. So I know Bugatti, but Bolide. So this is it. And they started on it, and they're going to try to do it. And I told them I'll hold it for them and won't touch it. And every time they come over, they'll have something to do. When they get tired of being outside or being on their games. And this is what they got so far when they did it. Doesn't look like much now, but if you look at this portion right here, you know, they built it all from just little stems right here. So they took turns, and right now I can see the cockpit in here a little bit, and all the pieces that's next. They separated the pieces, and it's all going to come together for them. They're patient, and they look at it as a challenge. Also, again, they they are very into trying to figure things out. And you give kids something to do to figure it out, and they'll get away from the games. You don't even have to ask them or fuss with them. They just don't want to get bored, because when they get bored, they run to the games. And rather than having the internet raise your kid, them learning something or practicing skills on some things. That's how I feel about it. So they know that when they come over to the house or whatever, that we're going to be doing something. Sometimes we take them out to uh, like Dave and Buster's and play games and everything, but sometimes you don't want to spend Dave and Buster money. Okay, so give them something to do, and my wife had them making pizzas and all that stuff from scratch. And that was a good time for them, but I don't have that type of patience with the cooking and everything. My wife does all that stuff with them, and I'll do stuff like this, building stuff. I'm more of that thing, of that type of person, and she rather build like food projects, that'll I guess make them full and everything like that. Because my granddaughter, the youngest one, she likes to try different things. She's an outgoing young lady too. So anyway, I know y'all didn't want to hear my life story, but basically, while I do all of this, is because it keeps me going up here, and it gives me ways to think about how to keep them busy when they're around. So, and if I can part any type of understanding on doing things that I can, I will. So thanks a lot, and we will get back with you. And I'm going to be doing a video on the completed sections all together, as far as with the engine and the size of the body interior glued on and everything. That'll probably be the next video. And then after that, it'll be the final look of it, 100% complete. That'll be another video. So right now, we're going to just start with putting together, going through the blueprint, okay, and seeing what it looks like, how difficult it may be. So you guys stick around if you choose to, okay? Thanks a lot, and peace. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you next time on youtube.com at Muscle Model Cars, ampersand Muscle Model Cars. All right, everybody, that should do it. Next time you see it, I'll have it partially finished, painted all the way as far as the all the medium to small parts. I have already done. So we'll see what happens from that point, and then hopefully we can get it done by Wednesday. I always give you Wednesday because that's the middle of the week, and I can probably best guesstimate when how close I'll be to the end of it. So if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button, and I thank you guys for being with me again. The 1970 Road Runner. Okay, dedication to my grandson, third oldest. Sure, it's the color he likes best. Money. He's always working. So, just like my other. They work. I will tell you that. You guys have a good Friday, and I'll see you on the next one. If you guys choose to stick around, or probably on the next video, you'll see me piecing together some parts and everything to get started with not piecing together, but painting the parts. If on the next video, I'll be painting the smaller parts with a that's still separated, but too small to like spray paint and stuff like that, because I compartmentalize everything, so it's an orderly assembly, and it moves quicker for me that way. Some people are different. For me, I like to have everything that goes with everything in one spot. Okay, so If I got a bag that's engine parts, I got that. If I got a bag that's all interior parts, I got that. If I got a bag that's undercarriage, chassis parts, I got that. If it's engine, whatever. So that's me. That's different bags so I can keep everything together. Okay. But other than that, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for hanging out with me for a minute to see what's going on and putting up with my stories. Some of you don't realize that I have tons of stories and a lot of grandkids. So uh, a lot of things I do reminds me of them, and I don't mind giving them shout outs where I can, when I can, however I can.